is Rock, and I got what it takes to make the mic rock hot. Say something to him, Rocky. Rap to him, Rocky. What's up, y'all? There we go. Turn that damn music down. What's up, y'all? Yeah, sorry for being a little bit late. Right when I went to go live on time, it said you need to update. And when I don't update, that's when the shit get hella choppy. So rather than having a choppy show for you today, I said I'll be a little bit late and do this long ass update. But what's up, everybody? Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for joining. Amanda Seales, you know, someone we've talked about on the show before, and she's done a lot of things that I've definitely have not agreed with. You know, I have a special disdain in my heart that give people that put false charges on folks like she did Myron Rolle. I remember that. The brother that used to play football. And so Amanda Seales over the years is somebody that we've talked about on the channel for doing certain things. But at the same time, I don't have any personal issues with her. I don't have any personal issues with anybody on the internet because I don't know these niggas. You know what I mean? And the people I do know, I don't give a fuck about what they got going on. You dig? But so I said that to say, you know, people are gonna come in here later on and say, I don't like Amanda Seales. I don't like Amanda Seales. I don't give a fuck. I don't. And if you don't like her, I totally 1,100% understand why. But at this channel, we're more mature than that. Not about like or dislike. It's about when there's a particular discussion being made, let's tuning into it. Let's tune in. I said tuning into it. Let's tune into it. So Amanda Seales had a show, and I thought that this was a great job. I thought she did an amazing job. I want to start off by saying that. Even in areas I disagree, I don't agree with her in every area. You know what I mean? And there are certain angles that she took that, if you ask me, like the whole slavery angle is being worn out, and that's why we don't go anywhere. But it's still a very strong angle. You know, I believe in talking about slavery, but from the traditional point of view of slavery just as labor, not including the genius, not including the free black societies that existed alongside slavery, and the fact that black people were doing well even during slavery, like we are right now, like a lot of us doing well right now, while we have brothers in prison caught back up in slavery. It's the same dynamic as in 1835 Cincinnati, Ohio. If you want to know what happened in the 1830s, look up the Jacksonian rebellions, and you'll find plenty of free black towns that were burned down just because black people were doing well, even before the Civil War. But that's a part of history that most people don't know, and I'm sure if Amanda Seales studied that bit of history, she'd arm herself even deeper when it comes to that. So, but with that being said, I thought that she did a great job, and I thought that there's going to be a point that we're going to break down this particular debate, and I even thought that there was a point, even towards the end of the debates, that she did an amazing job speaking up for immigrant black people. As someone who's Grenadian, she did a great job of checking a tether later on in the show and showing the difference between a black person that's from a different country and a tether. So again, salute to the job that she did. I'm not asking y'all to follow her. I'm not asking y'all to like her. You like who the fuck you like. One thing I'm tired of dealing with, and y'all can be free to talk however you talk, but when you talk to me, the last thing I care about is how you feel about somebody. I don't care. Your feelings are personal. Feelings change. You can feel one way about somebody 1 minute. They do something or say something, you'll feel completely different 30 seconds later. That's just how feelings operate. So I respect your feelings. I respect everybody's feelings. Just don't come to me with it, because although I respect your feelings, I don't give a fuck, okay? So, you know, like her or dislike her, I don't care. But I do think that this is a great debate to study and cover. With that being said, thank you, chat room, for joining. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Oh, that's you, Mike. Oh, yeah, you I saw earlier when I was walking Rocky. Salute to you. Salute to you. Somebody saw I was walking Rocky. Somebody was like, "Are you doing?" I was like, "Yeah." I hate being recognized. I swear to God, that's why I miss being a drummer. When I was a drummer, I was in the back of the motherfucking stage, having a great time being a creative, you know, having my creative time in my life, and nobody noticed me because I wouldn't do drum solos back then. But hey, it is what it is. Pleasure meeting you. But salute to everybody. Hit the like button. That's right, Boris Shot. The one lives. Appreciate y'all. What's up, Remy LeBeau? I ain't seen Remy around here in a minute. What's up, Remy? Salute to you. What's up, Jane Doe? And everybody else up in here. Rocky, you good? Rocky allergies over here. Fucking, he calming down. There we go. Oh, he good. He about to lay down. Well, anyway, let's break down this whole situation with Amanda Seales. So this, somebody. So he said, I'm a very conservative person, but a lot of these black Republicans are big coons. Yeah, I'm conservative too. Yeah, Larry. Hey, that salute the person that said that she recognized me earlier. I was on the phone with Larry when she stopped. And Larry was like, "Man, fuck you." Hey, Larry, I'm so glad that happened while you were on the phone. Because I like any chance I get to piss this motherfucker off. Hey, don't Larry look like that nigga that made that U-turn on that Florida highway and killed them 3 folks? It's your people, Larry, that did that shit. You look just like that motherfucker that made that U-turn on the highway. I'm blaming you for that. Bastard. I'm just so glad you got pissed off. Anyway, let's now that I'm done with my small talk, we about to get into it. Okay, before I'm done, go to thewannabe.com. I'm about to have a new, you can get the limited edition t-shirts, but I'm about to come up with some new designs for this. I'm working on them right now. I got a few that's already in the kettle. And we're gonna have some new stuff coming to thewannabe.com real soon, some new merch. And all that. But somebody said I have mixed signals about her. I don't think it's mixed signals. I think Amanda Seales is somebody who she's just a complicated person. You know what I mean? I think I've always felt that she was genuine. I've never felt anything fake. Like, I've never met Amanda Seales, but even, like I said, 80% of the time she's in the news, it's like, what the fuck is going on now? But I've never felt that she's disingenuous at all. She's a complicated person, like a lot of us. A lot of us are complicated, but she wears her emotions on her sleeve, and she's very opinionated. And that's a combination of quote unquote mixed signals. But we all throw mixed signals. None of us are all one way in all circumstances about anything. All of us have varying degrees of opinions on different topics. It's just most of us aren't as bold as her to have strong opinions on those topics. Like me, I have things I have opinions on, but they ain't necessarily strong in certain things, you know. And she's very strongly opinionated in a lot, which can lead to mixed signals. So I get why you say she gives you mixed signals. But Girl Speak, I don't know if you were here when I first started. That's exactly how I started the show, what Girl Speak just said. That was Myron Roll. When I have a particular thing. When she said that stuff When black men get these false accusations about them with all the shit that we got to deal with from our own, and people jump out the window, I don't like that. I'll forever have that in the back of my mind. But at the same time, I do like to acknowledge when things go in a particular direction, right? Oh, she's a Cancer? I might look at her cards later on to see why she can't help herself. I know her cards will tell me exactly why. I might do that. If y'all don't mind, towards the end of the show, I might look into her cards and see why she is the way she is. But this isn't about mental this is about the topic. Let me stop running my black ass mouth and get into it. So this is the show right here. I'm not going to what I'm gonna do is I'm going to speed it up. I'm not sure how this channel throws out strikes for views and shit. And so I'm gonna just bring it on down here so y'all can see what's going on. And then we'll see. All right. But here we go. This is her debating these one black radical versus 20 conservatives is what it's called. And the channel is Jubilee. I encourage y'all to watch the whole video on Jubilee because I'm only going to do some stuff.
All right, reparations, fair?
Now, this question here, they're talking about reparations. Let's listen to what this brother has to say and let's talk about it.
Necessary? My question would be, who's going to get it? Why would they get it? And how long are we going to sit here focusing on trying to get reparations? It's been how many years since slavery? 150 years, 1865? Whenever there's a real thing that this country wants to do, they do it. Stop Asian hate. Okay, there's a problem with the Asian hate. Let's draft a bill, sign it, and it's done. Anything that needs to be done is done. With us, it's a carrot they dangle in front of us that they don't really want to do. And it's not going to help. We need education. Oh, it's not going to help. No, it's not. We need education. Getting a check from the government is not going to do that.
So I'm not going to let him ramble on. He basically talks about reparations and saying that it's a carrot that they dangle in front of our head. And she obliterated him as time went on. But he started with the slavery thing and compared it to Stop Asian Hate of 2020. When it comes to reparations and people saying it don't matter, it does matter. Economics matter. Pay attention to what's going on right now. What happened? Let me give you a tiny example of why a check matters. During the pandemic, businesses were forced to shut down. And when the business shut down, it still incurs expenses. The only way most businesses were able to survive the pandemic was the government gave them a check. Because it was a government that said, you cannot do business for this period of time. You cannot have customers inside your building for this period of time. So when you're told by law, you cannot control and spend what you own, they gave reparation or restorative justice by saying, okay, we're going to make you shut down, but here's some money to float you during that time. Without the money to float businesses during the pandemic, said businesses fail because businesses need money. We see money exchanged all the time right there in front of us. Elon Musk got to the top because of government handouts, money. The tech industry, when you look at what Obama did with the tax breaks in 2011, with 10, with a lot of those laws he signed for the tech industry. It's no coincidence Warren Buffett was on top in 2010, and then from 2020, he's like way behind a whole bunch of tech people because it was government and money that made it to where these industries got to the top. Well, on the other hand, it was government that allowed for black businesses to be shut down based on the color of their skin. People not do business. It was the government that decided not to give contracts to black businesses based on the color of their skin. And when you multiply that town by town, city by city, business by business, person by person, it becomes a thing to where institutions that we could have established in the 1850s, 1830s, 1870s, 1930s, 1960s, 2020s were not established because the flow of money was not allowed to go through, because the government allowed people of a certain color, black, to not, there were laws that restricted these flows of money. So it's money how we got into this situation. And again, it's not just slavery. It's the Homestead Act. 160 acres of free land. An additional 100 acres per child. Free. And not only did, like Dr. King said, did you get Homestead Act money, the whole college, the university system we have, the state university system, LA, Cal State Northridge, all the Western Michigan University, University of Iowa, Florida, these schools were created to teach white residents how to grow and how not only grow the food on the land, how to operate businesses, how to set up businesses, how to set up trade, how to hook those universities. Also, when they graduated from the University of Iowa, University of Nebraska, the University of Oklahoma, the Sooners. Matter of fact, do you even know why Oklahoma is called the University of the Sooners? Because in Oklahoma, when the territory opened up, there was a date that people were allowed to go claim and settle land in Oklahoma. But there were thousands of people who went into Oklahoma before said date. They went too soon. That's why they were called the Sooners. But they were only the white ones were allowed to keep their land. You can learn a lot about a state through their mascots. Their mascots will tell you a whole lot about that state. The Indiana Hoosiers. The Hoosiers was the niggas. That's why the Sooners had this covered wagon right here. But these were the white people that were allowed to get the prime real estate in Oklahoma. Oklahoma, named after Oklahoma. The Oklahoma people look like this. Land that was taken from the Oklahoma. Look up the Oklahoma. They were allowed to take that land and keep it. And then they built the university to teach those people how to cultivate and develop commerce on that land. And then when they graduated from said universities, they were hooked in with government grants and government loans to fund and put money. When they graduated from Oklahoma, they got money to grow the land. Low interest loans, no interest loans, grants. So a full system that still exists today started off of government handouts. You cannot name one group of people in America that got anywhere near the middle class without government handouts. Government handouts is your only way to the middle class. When people come to this country, they get government handouts. You saw that person that looked like Larry that did that U-turn in that truck. He was an illegal. How in the hell did he get a driver's license? How in the hell did he qualify for one? How in the hell did he qualify to get handouts? Illegals get shit. You don't even need to be a goddamn citizen to get a license. What kind of shit is that? So everybody gets handouts. Somebody tell you, no, I don't want no handout. Well, you a motherfucking fool then. Everybody's got handouts. And we the only ones that didn't get handouts. We're the only ones that didn't. So us getting reparation isn't a handout. It's paying back, it's paying what you owe. If I did work and the bill is due, motherfucker didn't pay it. It's not a handout. Yeah, that Larry looking motherfucker that made that U-turn in that truck, straight up government handout. Let me see here. Let's go to this one.
Some of the people that you're asking for money from never had slaves. And let's talk about the fact there were also black people that had.
Here we go. Let's listen to this nigga with a high-pitched voice.
Positions are real stressful.
By the way, I wouldn't know. I'm not a liberal. Carry on.
Well, most of it's a liberal position because conservatives believe in hard work. We believe in going to work and working for what you got, not asking for handouts from people who never had slaves. Some of the people that you're asking for money from never had slaves. And let's talk about the fact there were also black people that had slaves. So if you want to talk about that, how is that fair? If I'm a white person and my...
So here we go. Let's talk about both of them. There were white people that never had slaves, and there were black people that like to have slaves. If y'all notice, they only like to talk about free black people in the context of the times that we owned slaves. Let's talk about that. Because you'll see here, and I have a document in my book, part of my family line owned slaves too, that were black. Yeah, that really happened. That really happened. Now let's talk about the context of why they owned slaves. Black people were often, how we got into slavery, we didn't just come from Africa. Go watch the movie 12 Years a Slave. Black people minding their own business, walking down the street, were oftentimes captured by slave patrols. Slave patrols. What we now know as sheriffs. And a lot of those people black people were arrested and put into slavery through vagrancy laws. A lot of black people were thrown into slavery who were at one point free. Family members will go and find their members on plantations and buy them back. But the only way you can buy your family back is if you're saying they can be my slave now. So you had to go and buy your family back. Or you could do what Nat Turner did and bust them out. Nat Turner did that too. And if you read this book, you'll see that's why my family had to move from North Carolina to Indiana. Because after Nat Turner did that shit, they said no more free black people in North Carolina. But black people were buying their family back when they found them. So they were technically listed as slaves. That's one of the major reasons why there were black people who owned slaves, because they had to buy their own goddamn family and their cousins out of it. This is a fact. Second off, for the ones who did, for the white people who did not own slaves, let's talk about that. It's not about who owned slaves and who didn't. It's about the system of slavery. That black people did things for free, and it wasn't just picking cotton. It was also sports and entertainment like it is today. We had skill sets. We were engineers, musicians, born into slavery, and became the people who were a lot of the engineers of those plantation buildings, a lot of those bridges. And you had people like Blind Tom Wiggins, who was a very famous entertainer in the 1850s. Do you know that this is one of the first black people, the first black person to perform for a president? Yeah, he was a slave. there was a whole industry of black musicians who had to play music 7 days a week, 6, 7 shows a day, and not get a dime for their work or their compositions. Blind Tom Wiggins composed over 7,000 compositions. White musicians who were free, if you were white and talented, you got paid for your work. If you were black and talented, a white person got paid for your work. So already off top, that's a way different thing. Second off, when it comes down, it's not about white people having to pay. It's that when black people were enslaved, giving the world this stuff for free, that boosted the economy of the United States that white people who did not own slaves benefited from. Let me give an example. The economy of the North, where your insurance companies, your banking systems, your wealth management, your government jobs, well, those banking jobs in the North, those insurance jobs in the North, those mercantile jobs in the North and in the South, those textile jobs were the sales jobs, the shipping jobs, the receiving jobs, all started from free labor. So the only reason why they have jobs in the North, the only reason why white folks in the South have jobs, they didn't own the slaves, but they had jobs as slave catchers. They had jobs as government officials. They had jobs as in the regular industries, in the fishing industries, and in these different industries. They have the other jobs. The same way now, if you work at the Gap, you benefit from the people that are sweatshops. The reason why you got a job at the Gap, a job at Macy's, a job building that mall, a job building that shopping center, is because there was free labor that happened that created these products for you to sell. So no, you didn't own slaves. You didn't own the slaves. But everything the slaves did created your economy. You don't have an economy to sell. Without these slaves over here, you're back in dusty ass Europe. And you came from dusty ass Europe because you wasn't shit in Europe, Donald Trump's family. Most of these people were criminals, dusty, dirty, lice-infected European criminals that came here and got jobs built off of free labor and free genius. The reason why your white ass got a job building that skyscraper in New York is because a black man invented the elevator. Okay? The reason why the train system exists around the world today is because black folks have the most inventions when it comes to making the train system what it is today. And I found out this last month. I thought my great granddaddy got compensated for building the automatic railroad. No, this is out of slavery. This is 100 years ago. He got his patent July 17th, 1925, and they stole that shit from him. Post-slavery. The grandson of a slave. So we gotta stop that. Not we. These coon niggas gotta stop that shit. Don't trust a nigga with no facial hair, y'all. I keep telling y'all that. These niggas with no facial hair. These niggas with no facial hair. Oh my God. Watch out for them. So let's go to the next lie and let's address this one.
And white people placing themselves in positions of power
You
when
know
they
why
do
they're
not
in
have the
position of
power.
power? Because their culture, black culture is toxic. The black culture is toxic. We have produced a culture that is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers in the black home. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Black culture is toxic. And there are no fathers in the home. That's another one you'll get. And they'll say black culture is toxic because of what's put on TV. I had somebody in the comments on my last video talking about that. Like somebody said we accept Cardi B in the comments on my last video. And I said, show me the black people showing up to the Cardi B concert at a stadium. Niggas don't even know the difference between what white-owned media put out and what we do. Why is it, if black culture is toxic, I always say this. Why is it then when we controlled our music, when black people control our music, before it got into the hands of major white distributors, this is what our music sounded like. Before, if our culture is so toxic, why is this the kind of music we create without them around?
Family reunion, got to have a family reunion.
That's our music. When we don't have white folks around us, when there's no Jimmy Iovine's around, when there are no Clyde Davises around, when there are no Leo Cohens around, we're making music about family reunions. Why is it black culture is the only culture in America that has family reunions if we don't have no culture? Why is it that when it's just us, this is us?
Oh, we are one. No matter what we do, we are one.
That's our music when they not around. That's our, I mean, we can, the reason, if you're on my Patreon, is please subscribe to my Patreon. I did a show last week on how the blues became hip hop. I took you through methodically on how how hip hop is just an updated version of the blues. Go check that out right now on Patreon. But if you go on my Destruction of Black Music series, and if you don't want to listen to a black man say it, it's all kind of books that we have around here that talks about how my interview with Dr. Logan Westbrook's, how black music was destroyed and taken over. We can literally put a timeline on what our music sounds like when we own it versus when they take control of it. When James Brown owned King Records, this is what black music sounds like before all the things that conservatives talk about. All the things that we talk about. Let's get together and get some land. Raise our food just like the man. Save our money. They got the road messed up. Save our money like the mob. I think Spotify they fucked that line up on purpose.
Save our money like the mob.
Like the mob, not like the mothers. Save our money like the mob. Put up the factory and own the job. These are our lyrics before they start fucking up our music. This is black culture. This is a do for self song. And James Brown was rapping over the breakbeat, saying do for self. People, we got to get over before we go under. This was our music before they fucked it up. Even in hip hop. Before they got in our shit, in hip hop. They talk about hip hop, but they never talk about Ice Cube and Death Certificate. Songs like Us.
Wait, let
me see.
Tell me who unleashed our animal instinct, and the white man sitting there tickle pink, laughing at us on the avenue.
Can you tell us who unleashed our animal instinct? got the white man sitting there laughing tickle pink, laughing at each other on the avenue, busting caps after having brew. We can't enjoy ourselves, too busy jealous at each other's wealth. But coming up is just in me. But the black community is full of envy. Too much backstabbing while I look up the streets and I see all the Japs grabbing. Every vacant lot in my neighborhood, build a store and sell their goods to the county recips. You know us po niggas, nappy hair and big lips. Got 4 or 5 babies on your crotch and you expect Uncle Sam to help us out. This is Ice Cube going through and giving a forensic analysis of what we do wrong and how we can't enjoy ourselves because of all these dumb niggas and these broads over here having all these goddamn kids by these same dumb niggas that's busting caps. They the ones having all the babies by these sorry ass chicks. This is how we was in hip hop. We was using hip hop to forensically give an analysis of what's going on in our community.
So we can spend our money with the blacks. Too busy buying golden Cadillac.
He said to all you dope dealers, y'all as bad as the police because y'all kill us. You got rich when you started slanging dope, but you ain't built us a supermarket so we can spend our money with the blacks because you too busy buying gold and Cadillacs. Exploiting us like the Caucasians did.
For 400.
Songs like Who's the Mac? Wait, look. I'm going too short. The Ghetto. Played on that Donny Hathaway classic, The Ghetto. A forensic analysis of what's going on in our neighborhood. And that was a song by the OJs that they redid, by the way, The Ghetto. Y'all talk about Too Short's pimping, but I remember when I was a kid, this was the hottest song of the year. This is one of the hottest songs here. I don't know what y'all bumming on the East Coast when Short Dogs in the House dropped, but this is what we was dropping in LA, Oakland. This is what we was playing. A forensic analysis of what we see going on in our neighborhoods.
600 million on a football team and her baby died just like a dope fiend. The story I tell is so
Given a juxtaposition on how somebody could spend 600 million on a football team while a woman is watching her kid die over at the foot of that stadium because she was on some crack cocaine shit. This was black music before they touched it. What is black music now that they have it? This is after white folks touched our music. And it's a bomb song.
Then you pop them, you can't man them, then you mop them, you can't stand them, then you drop them, you pop them, cause we pop them like Overcriminalization.
Drugs and bullshit. All of this gets ushered in after you motherfuckers buy up our record labels. All this shit gets ushered in after you motherfuckers take over the means of distribution. So whose culture's, that's why I asked that question, black people. Whose culture are we talking about here? If I can show you, okay, this is what music sounded like when Berry Gordy owned Motown. This is what music sounded like when Gamble and Huff was running Philadelphia International. This is what music sounded like when the Isley Brothers and Frankie Beverly Mays were independent. This is what Too Short sounded like when he was selling music out of his trunk. This is what the music would sound like when we owned the means of distribution. They never talk about the miseducation of Lauryn Hill being black culture. What was the biggest album in '98? As big as DMX was in hip hop, and that '98 was an amazing year for DMX. The biggest album in '98 was the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, because music had been getting so plastic and fake and not connected to the culture. When she dropped that, the culture swarmed to it. To right now, we 25 years, we coming up on goddamn near 30 years since the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and that shit still held up as a crown jewel of music. Why? Because it's truly reflective of black culture and its messaging. When they talk about black culture, They never bring up Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter. Hell, today's music, Anderson .Paak. They don't bring up Miles Davis. They don't bring up Duke Ellington, Derek Hodge of today with The Color of Noise. They never. We have countless examples. Dizzy Gillespie, Art Tatum, Thelonious Monk, Wynton Marsalis, Bradford Marsalis. We can keep going down the line. Roy Hargrove, if you want to bring it today. Robert Glasper, if you want to bring it today. Kamasi Washington, if you want to make it today. Ryan Porter, if you want to make it today. Terrence Martin, today. These genius musicians that compose the most beautiful music for people around the world. Flying Lotus, Thundercat. They don't bring up none of these black people. They bring up, the only black people that are brought up when it comes to black culture are the ones that white people push. Think about that for a second. Earth and the Fire is the most spiritual band ever. You want some deliverance in music, listen to some damn Earth and the Fire. Like, Earth and the Fire is, I just saw them at the Hollywood Bowl this past 4th of July. Earth and Fire, my God. Talk about music that really uplifted us. No, not this. Oh yeah, I gotta spend that rotary connection. Where's my playlist? I'm looking for my Earth and Fire playlist, but for some reason this motherfucker ain't coming up. I'd rather go to my playlist than theirs. No. Who the fuck is calling me? All this band of gypsies. Yeah, they don't never talk about Jimi Hendrix when it comes to black culture, do they? They don't ever talk about Jimi Hendrix when it comes to black culture. Never. Man, why the fuck is Spotify such a bitch to navigate? Well, we'll just go here. Earth and the Fire got songs like Keep Your Head to the Sky. This is black culture right here. Head to the sky. That's black culture. Black culture, I love this song by Earth and Fire. Ain't it funny that the way you feel shows on your face? And no matter how you try to hide, it states your case. Now you're trying to turn this frown to a smile. You never let to see the good things all around. Every time you seem to let our feelings flow, our luck runs out and the wind won't blow. That's basically saying no matter, like this is a bad day, but no matter how bad your day is, what it's sad, just can't make me. Cause I've been there before. Don't want to go no more. But no matter what happens, won't let them take me. Won't let it drive me mad. Sadness bears no remedy for the problems in your life. While you run your race, keep a smiling face. Help you set your own pace. This is black music. This is how we got through it. This is why they had to destroy black music. Because our music was telling us how to get through the bullshit. No matter what's going on. While you run your race, keep a smiling face when life is on your case. This is black culture. When we curate it. Black unity? What? When the racism is so wide, you can't get around it. So low, you can't get under it. So high, you can't get over it. This is a chance to dance our way out of our constrictions. And how are we going to dance our way out of our constrictions? How are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? We're going to do it as what?
A nation under a groove. Getting down just for the punk.
We're going to do it as one nation. So that whole argument about our culture, No. What we see in presented in media, this ain't what our culture put out. This is what happened when they took our culture and put it out there. This is on them. Because we don't control the means of distribution. So let's go to the black on black crime, nigga.
All citizens should be getting equal access to these things. However, you are actively allowing the Klan to harm us. You are actively allowing...
Who's killed more black people, the Klan or us?
I would like to continue my statement. I let you speak uninterrupted. When we talk about this kind...
Who's killed more people? This is nothing that make cross-eyed cuz right here. I'm calling it, if I was in high school.
We want what you are stating we deserve. And that is what all of the efforts of the civil rights movement has been. It's literally just been to say, you said when we got out of the Civil War that we would be considered citizens and all citizens should be getting equal access to these things. However, you are actively allowing the Klan to harm us. You are actively allowing...
Who's killed more?
If he went to Westchester High with us, we would have called this nigga cross-eyed cuz. Because he's like, all right, Crossy. She was making a point about the Klan being actively allowed. And the Klan is just a name, a symbolic name. There are thousands of these white supremacist organizations. Look it up. Up until Trump got in office, the number 2 threat to national security behind climate change was white supremacist organizations, and the Klan is just one. That's like saying the LAPD. Well, the LAPD is just one. It's just the police department for LA. There are multiple police departments within the LAPD. I mean, within the city of Los Angeles, let alone around the rest of the country. So the Klan is just one. But he'll say something. This is one of those fake gotcha moments from the people. Who kills more black folks? The Klan is or us? Well, murder is always going to be the people that you're around the most. White people kill white people at the highest rates. Asians kill Asians at the highest rates. Black people kill black people at the highest rates. But they tend to want to move it out of that arena of crimes of proximity and crimes of poverty, saying that I'm more likely to be killed by a black person. And another thing that, and I'm sorry, I don't want to bring this up because oftentimes there is senseless violence does exist. It most definitely does exist. But most of the time when people are murdered or harmed is by somebody they know. Whether it be no through interaction, no through family, no through proximity. But most murders happen, there's somebody going to go kill somebody that they know. And I know somebody that got I'm talking about somebody I knew through a friend. 2005, the Sunday after Christmas, he died. And I remember he got murdered. And I remember the week before it happened. And he had some issues with some other people. And he was talking big shit. And when the news told the story, it was this young man from Cal State Northridge, because we both went to the same college. And it was told as this college kid was killed to senseless violence in the hood. Well, I was in the hood the week before. And I saw this nigga get into it with this nigga, and he the one that started it. That's why my dad always told me, don't play with men. Men don't play, men kill. I don't give a fuck what race you are. Most of the murders that happen is over street business. And if it's not over street business, it's over dick pussy politics, as Corey Holcomb would say. That's his term, dick pussy politics. It's either over street business or dick pussy politics, no matter what race you are. People, when it comes to dick pussy politics, tend to get very violent when dick pussy politics is disturbed. And that's of all races. So I've lived my life in the hood. I've never not lived, I lived in black neighborhoods, good and bad, put it like that. I've always lived in black neighborhoods my whole life. And whether I was east of the 110 freeway or living up in Ladera Heights, I was never worried about black people killing me because I didn't do nothing to nobody. 98% of the time, you can avoid 98% of murder by just not fucking over somebody. Don't fuck with somebody's girl. Don't take nobody's money, and don't participate in an environment nefarious illegal activities. They're gonna get 98% of your chance of getting murdered by a black person gets wiped off right there. The only thing that's left is the 2%. Okay, we in America, random violence happens. It was a white man that shot up a whole goddamn 54 people out of a casino, who also went to my university, Cal State Northridge, the same school Kamala Harris' husband went to. Damn, see, son, we looking bad. I'm bringing up the Vegas shooter who graduated from my school, but he was older than me. Damn, and I'm talking about college graduates here. There's a white man that sent them firefighters, and I remember just 2 weeks ago, like 2 months ago, that ambush killing that happened when they called that false flag and got the firemen to come, and that white man just picked them off. Random violence, this is America, Jack. So the random violence part, you can't control. I don't care if you're in Beverly Hills or the hood. I don't care. I've been in here in LA. I've been over there by the Santa Monica Pier when there's been shootings over there. I've been on 83rd and Crenshaw when there's been shootings. I've been down in Long Beach at the Queen Mary when there's shootings. I've been on 67th and Main Street when there was shootings. I've been around when there was shootings over there in Beverly Hills, over on Rodeo in Barrington, and I've been over there off of Sawtell and Pico. I saw a shooting one time. Nigga, I saw a shooting downtown LA. We in America, Jack. Can't control that. But if you leave other people's women alone, if you stay out of illegal activities, you all but absolved to watch your chances of getting killed in the hood, because it don't happen. Been here my whole life, never been fucked with, because I mind my own black ass business. Cross-eyed nigga. All right, let's go to the next person. Let's go jump up. I just want to take time to look at this nigga's mustache.
Funny, it looked like a slave house. It was just, they grew up in poverty. And the fact that he was able to go from that and get the highest rank enlisted in the United States Navy.
But listen to this part again.
So your ability to sell your house for the value that it deserves.
Right.
There were a number of homes, particularly in Marin County, California, where...
She talks about redlining. And she's talking about how she takes the approach of redlining when it talks about white supremacy. Redlining is a good, for me, if there's a scale of 1 to 5, I'm gonna put redlining at a 6 as far as how we've been held back as far as white supremacy goes. 1 to 10. If the scale is 1 to 10, what holds us back? I put redlining as a 6, not quite a 9. It's a 6, but it's still a major factor. And it's still a bona fide factor to go off of. And when it comes to redlining, that didn't just stop with Hattie McDaniel in 1960 in the Sugar Hill District, 1950. Redlining still goes on today through bank loan amounts. I used to work at a bank. Just say the average house, just let me give you an example. Say the houses in a black neighborhood are averaging $300,000 to purchase, and the average in a white neighborhood is averaging $700,000. And the average in the neighborhood that's is not quite white, it's not quite ghetto, but it's not quite white. Those houses may be $500,000, $550,000. What the banks will do, you can qualify for the $700,000 loan. But based on which bank you go to, you may get qualified for the one that's $550,000 to get you in that middle income, but most likely they're going to qualify you for about $490,000. You probably can qualify for $750,000 to live in that white neighborhood. But they're going to cap you out at $490,000 to where now you either can only buy a house in the hood, or if you want to live in this better neighborhood, you better have $80,000 in cash to put down and have them qualify you for the rest. They do it through loan amount now. And this comes from somebody who I paid my own way through college cash doing loans for banks, okay? So don't talk to me about that shit. I saw it happen firsthand. The reason why I don't have student loans, because I paid my way through college cash, because I was a loan officer at a bank and I could do that. And that's how the shit would happen. Saw it happen firsthand.
South, you probably don't even know it, Aliceville, Alabama. Okay. That's where my grandparents are from. And my grandpa came, if you saw the house that he grew up in, I'm not trying to be funny, it looked like a slave house. It was just, they grew up in poverty. And the fact that he was able to go from that and get the highest rank enlisted in the United States Navy amidst, all these, systems, so to speak. And he was able to buy his own house out in San Diego. He was able to, pass on these things to his son, my dad, and his grandchildren. Now I'm able to get an education. I was able to get my undergrad, my master's, that, the great-great-grandson of enslaved peoples can now say that, educated and can even run for Congress.
Can even run for Congress. This is the other kind of Negro. The I made it, why can't you Negro? I'm glad, again, salute to Amanda Seals for having this debate and discussion. Again, I want y'all to go back and watch the whole thing. This is the other kind of Negro we got to deal with. And I dealt with this when I moved to View Park, Ladera. When my parents moved up there, we got a view. It's an all-black neighborhood, and we're on the hill. And where my parents live, you can see the whole city. All of South Central, you can see all the way clear to Long Beach. With the flat part, they live on the hill. And black people have that area in LA. Ladera Heights, Baldwin Hills, View Park, Blair Hills, Windsor Hills. The I made it, why can't you Negroes? See, the difference is, over in View Park, a lot of the older black people had this guy's ideology when I was like in my 20s, the people who were in their 80s. But the black folks that were in their 50s and younger knew better. They were kind of like, yeah, we made it over here to Ladera, but we had to go through some shit. LA niggas that with money realized that, okay, we're not better than the ones without it. That was the thing that we saw amongst the older black class, the initial class to move into Ladera Heights in the 60s. They were like that. But the ones who moved into Ladera Heights by the time the 80s and the 90s came, we saw, nigga, we just lucky. Because there is no exceptional Negro. There is no saying, oh, because my grandfather. Look, like I said before, my great-great-granduncle, Carl Glennis Roberts, was the first black person to head the state of Indiana Medical Review Board. The first black surgeon in Chicago, Illinois hospitals was my great-great-granduncle, Carl Glennis Roberts. And when my great-great-granduncle died, the person that wrote his obituary in January 1950 was none other than the great Dr. Charles Drew. We all should know who Dr. Charles Drew is. He wrote my great-great-granduncle's obituary and said that my great-great-granduncle was his inspiration. The great Dr. Charles Drew. That's a fact. Matter of fact, I'm looking for the obituary now, but I can't find it because I didn't think I was going to talk about this. With that being said, black people have always done well. This was 100 years ago, y'all. My great-granduncle became this shit in the 1920s. In Chicago, nonetheless. Racist ass Chicago. But he ain't no example as to why the rest of us should be doing good. He was the exception. He was also very light. He was also very, 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 very white. Here it is. Not very white, very light skinned. So I know that my great-great-granduncle and his light skin had certain benefits that other black people at that time didn't get. It's a lot of things. He comes from a band of Negroes that was never enslaved. Where did it go? Here it is. I found it. So when these people get talking about what my great-great-granduncle did and my great-grandfather, here he is right here, Dr. Roberts. Born in Hamilton County, Indiana, 1886. Dr. Charles Drew wrote this. This was written by Dr. Charles Drew 3 months before Dr. Charles Drew died. How do I know? Look right here. Journal. This is actually published March 1950 in the Journal of the National Medical Association. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this to show that black people been doing this. Look who wrote this. 1950. The president wrote this. Wrote some things too. This isn't the National Black Medical Association. This is the Journal of National Medical Association, not just the black ones. So, black people, for all you coons and immigrants that think that we were just slaves, nigga, we been doing good, nigga. Fuck out of here. We've always had exceptions. The question for reparations isn't about us having the opportunity. It's about why does it have to be the exceptional Negro all the time? Why is it only us exceptional ones or those exceptional ones with stupid ass mustaches and ugly ass glasses? Why are y'all the only ones that get to the top? Why can't our mediocre win? When you look at these people in these jobs, I'm dealing with a client right now, one of my professional, my business clients. The assistant, one of the assistants to the people at top, making well into the 6 figures. This person's dumb than a motherfucker. They split their verbs. They can't spell. They can't even spell check their emails. I'm emailing them, seeing what time I'm gonna meet with the client, and they over here because they boss is my client. So I got to go through I email the assistant, and I have my assistant email their assistant, and my assistant be showing their assistants wording, and I be like, did y'all pay at least $150,000 a year? Why can't no black people mediocre get $150,000 a year? Why is it only the exceptional people who strive and go beyond? Why is it we got to go far beyond expectation in some otherworldly shit to win? Why can't niggas who split verbs and a mediocre still get a job for $150,000 a year when people who only been in this country for 2 weeks get one? That's a serious question. Why is it only the exceptional gets to win? Exceptional is always going to win of all races. Denise said, freebie mentality creates worthless do-nothings. I hear where you're coming from, Denise, because your mama don't give out no free pussy. She charged every nigga that wants some. She figured niggas that fuck for free can't fuck. So your mama take them motherfuckers that's willing to pay so she can get her rocks off. Your mama ain't giving them no kind of free pussy. So I see where that's coming from. Your mama only get her heart broken by free pussy. She make niggas charge because she is jaded like a motherfucker. She had you and said life is all fucked up. $15 a nut. That's what she charged. We call your mama $15 nut. $15 is what it's gonna take. And you grew up in that environment of hard hussies, and now you're jaded towards the rest of the world. Just understand that's just your mama, all right? Hey, Todd Campbell, you got 2 choices. You can either fall in line with what we talking about, or you can get the fuck out of here. I saw you say that a couple times. You either gonna fall. Do you see DJ Vlad in the title, nigga? Either fall in line with the topic or get the fuck out of here. It's your choice. Hey, you niggas come here, ain't got DJ Vlad nowhere in the goddamn title. Nigga typing in caps. Nigga, go to your search bar, type in niggas talking about DJ Vlad, go watch them, nigga. What the fuck is you doing? Who the fuck you think you is typing in caps to me like that, nigga? If you don't humble yourself, you just as bad as this nigga with the weird mustache. All right, so let's get in. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. If you want to know what I'm talking about, look at the title. If it's in the title, I'm going to cover it. If it's not in the title, I'm probably not going to cover it. That's simple. All right, so let's go to this next part.
All right, how you doing, Amanda? I'm Ryan.
Ryan, nice
to meet you. Thanks for being here. All right, well, what I would say is, as far as systematic racism, right? I think most of us would agree that at the very least it has occurred in this country, right? You know, we've had slavery, we've had Jim Crow segregation, all these different things.
Yeah.
I think my argument would be that right now in modern America, I don't think, at the very least, it's not as prevalent as it has been to where it could stop us from being successful. Okay, I would say that it's not a thing anymore where it needs to be talked about so much and so much attention focused on it. I don't think that currently there is systematic racism in a way that it's going to be harmful to us. You know, like I said, to stop us. If anything, really, I think institutions such as things with DEI.
What do you think DEI is?
So here's the other kind of Negro. Systematic racism does exist, but it doesn't exist like it used to be. These people never have any way to back what they say. And then he goes into DEI.
Basically, I think that it's in a way it's racism against other races outside of blacks. And so
where did you get that concept of it from?
I've researched a lot of things. I looked at different clips from both sides of the argument, things like that.
I've researched a lot of things. I looked at both sides of the argument. Here's the thing. He gave the classic rundown of people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They always say they research. D.L. Hughley, that's what D.L. Hughley does all the time. Remember when D.L. Hughley said that when he got off of his Kamala rant and started supporting Kamala, and I did my research. They always say they did their research, but they can't furnish one motherfucking journal, nothing to back what they say, other than if they bring up some bullshit ass Thomas Sowell. And he didn't even do that. Look, systematic racism does exist, and we can read it, and we can talk about it. And for a full breakdown of that, everybody has to go listen to watch Needful of videos and get his independent compensatory code concept book. I got this is the word guy. I got the book in the other room. Here's the book right here. I got the book right here. I thought I had another room. For that, get your Needy Fuller United Independent Compensatory Code Conduct book. And it talks about and breaks down the system and what it is, and what a system of racism is. And a system of racism, white supremacy, is a system that guarantees the people who are classified as white get the first spoils from that gets trickled down from those who are really white. And that's just a fact. It's backed up by median household incomes. It's backed up by the fact that a white man that has a white person with a criminal record makes more money than a black man with a degree. That's the evidence. These people overtalk you. They say they research, but they didn't research shit. They just talking.
At the very least, it has occurred in this country, right? You know, we've had
and that's nothing to do. They put racism in the past. Let me tell y'all, for y'all people that's in y'all 30s, when I was in my teens, they were telling us racism was in the 80s. And press number one if you was around here in the 80s and the 90s. Weren't they telling us racism was a thing in the past? 90s, we were the 90s MTV generation. We are the generation that the music brought us all together. We not in the 60s anymore. Dr. King's vision's been realized. We got affirmative action. We 90s, the MTV generation was sold that bullshit. 92.3 the beat. No color lines. And them same people that was saying that shit, when they got in control of institutions, they did the same racist, white supremacist shit as they daddies. You hot, Rocky? Rocky hot. Hold on, let me go get Rocky's cooling blanket. My little nigga Rocky, it's hot in the motherfucker right now. Hold on. I'm playing the music. I'll be right back. Come on, Rocky. There we go. I had to get Rocky's cooling pad. Now Rocky a little sensitive ass Frenchie, man. It's hot than a motherfucker. The Frenchies get sensitive as hell when they get hot. So he drinks some ice water right now. Had to get my little nigga some ice water in the cooling pad. But that's what they do. They always put it in the past. It's not in the past. That's how they trick us. My whole childhood was racism is a thing of the past. Martin Luther King said, "We shall overcome." We now have a king holiday. We didn't have a Martin Luther King Day in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 20s, and the 30s. You guys got a King Day. Racism is over. All right. So no, racism is not stopping. No, individuals, yes, individuals can always thrive. The whole point of reparations and addressing racism isn't so that the cream of the crop can rise to the top. It's so the ones that suck can get to at least the middle class too. Because every other way's got a whole bunch of marginal talent living in the best neighborhoods. Marginal people, marginal skills, just marginal. But I want to point out Amanda's response here. She had a really good response at this one. She had a really good response.
So ultimately, we know that our low-income communities are not given the same access to resources on a myriad of levels. They don't even have the same air quality, okay? We know that low-income communities in general are also going to be much more policed than other communities. We know that policing as it exists in the United States came from slave catching. So even the tradition of policing comes from protecting property, not protecting people, okay? So let's start there. When we talk about low-income, like the working class black people in this nation, we know that they have never been considered, ever, whether they were slaves or not. They just weren't considered. And we also know, as our brother Isaiah pointed out, that there are still people in very powerful positions that hold very personal positions as it relates to racism. And so in that way, they are impediments to someone moving forward. When we talk about DEI, the concept of DEI is not about lowering a standard. It's about widening the options. So we live in
Let's bring up the DEI point. DEI is another thing that does not help black people. And she got it a little bit off on this one. And she gave the book definition. And Amanda's in entertainment, so I don't expect her to understand how it's working out in the work environment. In theory, DEI is a great thing. But in practice, DEI is get whatever non-black men, especially non-black straight men, you can get in these positions. You can get black women, get Indians, Chinese, Asians, Latinos, gay black men. You can get them in there. When it comes to black people, here's a test. My homeboy's a tech recruiter. Used to be a recruiter for Twitter. And he told me flat out, he was incentivized to hire Nigerians over black Americans. That's something from a whistleblower within the tech world. Over at Twitter, he worked at Facebook, and he didn't say which company. He just said because he's a contractor for a few different ones, but it was a few ones. I'm saying places that he worked at. But he worked at a few of these places. And he was incentivized to hire Nigerian black to cover the black American quota. Because the part of the quota that says black, In order to cover that, they hire immigrant blacks, and most of that has to do with temperament. Nigerians are going to do what's told, and they're going to demand less. Okay. So even when it comes down to DEI, the numbers improve. That does not help the black family or black people. Not at all. And now look at this. Now here we get to the Tether patrol. Listen to the Nigerian lady talk. And this is what we mean when we say Tether.
Hi again.
We cool now?
We good. We good. I think we're on the same. We're kind of looking at the same side of the same coin, and I think because we both want the betterment of the Black community, and I think we're maybe coming from it from different ways. And so I do respect your position to what you were saying as well, that there are certain things and powers at play. And I've experienced racism firsthand. A lot of conservatives may try to act like, oh, there's no racism in America. I absolutely believe there is racism in America. I believe racist people exist. I just don't think that the systems as they stand today are inherently racist, because I've seen too many Black people overcome. And I just feel like a lot of times what's left out of the dialogue is self-accountability and like self-will. We talk about how we were 3/5 of a person, but now we are 100%, I guess, according to the law or whatever, a person. And I feel like at the end of the day, if you wanted to walk out here right now and decide, you know what, I want to change my career, I want to do that, you can. And that's why so many people, and Nigerians come here, and Indians come here, and so many people who are not white, who are supposed to be discriminated against because they're not white, they come here and they become doctors and lawyers. Why? Because to your point, there's community. There's a sense of pride about, you know what, I got to go honor my parents back in Nigeria. I am part Nigerian. I have to go honor my parents. I have to go honor my elders. They're not twerking and shaking booty. They're getting set.
They are literally twerking and shaking booty.
The Nigerians I know ain't doing it. If they are twerking, but they doctors from Africa. They're doctors twerking and shaking booty. So maybe they can.
Amanda says, made a great point. Twerking came from Africa. But you heard what the Tether said? We're not twerking and shaking booties, but she comes from a land that can't keep the power on 24 hours a day. This is what I mean by tethers. They come and talk about the best amongst them, but she didn't mention that out of all this education, they can't keep the lights on for 24 hours. They can't keep the internet working all day, but you're educated. She said that people come here to get these jobs. They also commit a lot of fraud to get these jobs too. This also happens with people from other parts of the world when they come to America. They also run cheating schemes that Black Americans don't run. This was a major thing back in 2019 before the pandemic of not only UCLA, but Cal State Berkeley and all through the Cal State systems, Chinese nationals coming to America and cheating the system. We could talk about the Florida nurse scandals, the fraudulent diplomas from illegals and non-citizens out of Florida. They don't talk about this kind of stuff. And how there are tens of thousands of nurses in America right now who may not have nursing degrees. For real, for real. And lots and lots and lots of Chinese people in America that cheated their way to their degrees, their PhDs. She ain't talk about that. Look at this one. Chinese parents continue without supporting you. Look at this, what happens. They only get fined $250. We're dealing with millionaires. These nationals are millionaires. And they're only having to pay $250,000 for cheating. They don't bring up this part when it comes to people from other countries coming to America and winning. How they can come with whole systems that cheat from abroad to win. The next point is, like she said, she want to talk like that. Okay, Again, that's why I just one Nigerian dude that he deleted me from Facebook like after years ago when he was talking about how good they were doing. I could bring up my own fucking family, bitch. You ain't doing nothing my family wasn't doing 100 years ago. Hell, I still got eye doctors in my family now. My family still got doctors. My family having doctors for over 100 years. The fuck is she talking about? Howard University has been putting out black doctors for well over 100 years. All of this whole, oh no, because my family, no. Exceptional black people are still winning to this day. And like I said before, let's put your exceptional versus our exceptional. Let's put the top 10% of Nigerians against the top 10% of black Americans, and let's see who wins. Even Dr. What's his name said something about that. What's that brother out of England? Out of the UK. What's that dude's name? He wrote Robin Walker. Put the top 10% of Nigerians against the top 10% of black Americans, and let's battle. Let's wrestle, as they say. Your top 10% versus our top 10%. Where's your Stevie Wonder? Where's your Robert Johnson? Where's your I'm drawing a blank to that sister that was funding John Brown. I'm drawing her name. I forgot her name. Mary Ellen Pleasant. Where is that? Where is your Madam C.J. Walker? We don't even want to play that game. If y'all want to wrestle, we can wrestle. If y'all want to wrestle, let's wrestle. Yeah, he a coon, but where's your version of Dr. Ben Carson? Y'all use him all the time. Well, where's your version of him? Yeah, where's your Dr. Charles Drew? I can literally show how my great-granduncle was Dr. Charles Drew's inspiration. He wrote it in his own words. In his own words. Yeah, where's your Benjamin Banneker? Where's your Gladys West? Where's your George Washington Carver? This person must have just gotten here late. This show isn't about trusting anyone. No one's talking. Everyone knows. Look, you're in here with a very intelligent group of folks. We know who Amanda Seales is. This platform has done plenty of shows on who she is. One thing we as black people need to get over with is this whole trust thing. You don't need to trust any of these niggas. Matter of fact, you shouldn't. It's not about trusting somebody. It's about understanding a message and taking the message and using that message to grow and learn and expand from. Everything's learning opportunity. It's not about, I didn't trust my math teacher. But my math teacher who I didn't trust, she still taught me 2 + 2 is 4. 4 + 4 is 8. I didn't have to trust her. All I gotta do is when you say what you have to say, weigh the information. Information checks out no matter who is saying it. I don't trust Dr. Umar Johnson. But what Dr. Umar Johnson says about the IEP system and the education system is fact. And I still don't trust that nigga. Trust came into when I donated to his school that one time and realized, oh shit, I may have fucked up. Trust, okay, if you're gonna put money in somebody's pocket, all right, do I trust you to this is what we gotta get over, black folks. If I give you money, do I trust you to execute whatever it is that you put out? That's where trust comes in. If I get this church money if I put money in this church building fund, will a new building come? Or will this building fund still be here 20 years from now and we still in the same rusty, dusty ass building with a leaky roof? That's where trust comes in. Do you trust somebody to execute what you put money? If you ain't putting money behind something, you ain't got to trust shit. Take the information and weigh it. Fuck who giving it to you. Amanda Seals is not asking us to give her money to build a school. Amanda Seals is not saying, I want your vote, trust me. She's not saying that. She's just having a discussion. You ain't got to trust the woman, to have a discussion. Yeah, Umar got me. I donated to that school 2015 and 2016. I trusted Dr. Umar to build that school in 2015. By the time 2018 came around, 17, and I'm like, man, this shit looking kind of bleak right now. And by the time 2019 came, I no longer trusted Umar to build that school. Still doesn't change the fact that he was right about the IEP system and the miseducation system and the targeting of our black boys. He was still very much so right about that. How do I know he's right about that? I used to work in schools. I saw it with my own eyes. I worked in a similar field as Dr. Umar. I worked with the IEP system. So I didn't have to trust him. All I did was go to the schools and be like, damn, why is it all the black boys are getting put in special education? Matter of fact, when you talk to these black boys, most of them are pretty damn intelligent. Most of these cats are pretty fucking smart. I didn't have to trust Dr. Umar for that. I listened to what he said and did my own research. Was like, oh, goddamn, the nigga right. So let's mature and get beyond just having to trust somebody because they give you some information. You ain't got to trust nobody to give you information. Just listen to the information and weigh it. People you trust are going to give you bad information sometimes because people make mistakes. People you don't trust will give you everything you need to know sometimes. So let's mature past that. So let's keep going. Because it's going to be later on to where she really checks a tether. Right here. I want you to see this discussion with this tether that she has right here. This is going to play for a little bit.
Thrive in spite of it. And that is where we really exist from. And that is where our resilience comes from in spite of systemic racism.
I think our resilience is happening now. I think growing, understanding the real problems, not going out and trying to protest against, you guys don't ever do this. KTS.
You guys don't ever do that. KTS, who is you guys?
Members of the black community don't want to hold people accountable, especially black people. So KTS Dre was shot 60 times outside of Cook County.
Members of the black people don't want to hold each other accountable. That's just a lie. Black people are the most, that's something I want black people to make very clear. We are the most accountable group of people in America. How can I say that? Dewan, how can you say that black people are held to account more than anybody in America? It's because we are convicted at a higher rate than anybody else in America. What do I mean by higher rate? Meaning if 10 white people get charged and 10 black people are going to come away with more convictions than white. And then once the punishment is levied, it's going to be at a higher level. What's a misdemeanor to a white person is a felony to a black person. What's a crime that a white person commits that gives them 5 years is going to be 15 years for a black person. The fact that the thing that anytime someone talks about not being accountable, the fact that black people are convicted more and have longer prison sentences over lesser offenses is the actual tangible proof that black people are held accountable for what we do more than others. Everybody commits crime. we're the ones that pay for it more. So when you pay for your crime, that is literally the act of being held accountable. If you're held in jail, you're being held accountable for what you did. That's what accountability it is. Having to answer and pay for what you did. So if we are the people that are paying for what we did the most at a higher rate, at longer conviction sentences, that is an actual tangible fact that we do pay for what we do wrong. And we are held accountable for what we do wrong. Second point, when he said that we don't like to hold each other accountable, we don't go around and when we hear OG Neckbone shot somebody, we don't talk about that. Only people you saying free somebody is other gang members, and we don't like them niggas either. Gang members are fucking pests that the rest of us have to fucking deal with. And yes, I said it, because niggas like to go around acting all this whack 100 and Adam 22 shit. You niggas is pests. For real, for real. We have to tolerate these niggas. When they do crimes, we ain't calling the police saying, free OG Neckbone. We saying, no, give that nigga 6 extra years. He fucking shot my cousin. Matter of fact, when you hear these about black people getting harmed, especially if it's an innocent black person, the main people you're going to see out there are black people protesting for justice of an innocent black person being harmed. We overcharge for things. We literally pay in every single direction more than everyone else. The black taxes, when it comes to just break down traffic violations. Black people are overcharged and overcriminalized for traffic violations more than any other group. Go to your city right now. Black people LA is devoid of black people. But whether you go to the Torrance Traffic Court, the Inglewood Traffic Court, the LA Traffic Court, the Santa Monica Traffic Court, any of these traffic courts that you go around here in Southern California, you're going to see a disproportionate amount of black people in those traffic courts. In areas to where black people make up 6% of the population, we're going to be 40% of the people in traffic court. Car insurance rates are higher, right? When I first got my car, I had my car at my homeboy's parents' house in Westchester. Because Westchester is a white neighborhood. At the time, I still lived with my parents. This is back when I still lived with my parents. My parents were in View Park. No crime in View Park. Black people with money in View Park. Didn't nothing happen over there in View Park. Nothing. I parked my car on the street, ain't nothing goddamn happening. When I moved my insurance from my homeboy's parents' house to my parents' house, for the same insurance, my shit went up $80 a month. A month. From one good neighborhood to another good neighborhood. It's just that this good neighborhood was black. I ain't even talking about east of the 110 freeway. I'm talking about View Park, Windsor Hills, Ladera Heights, Baldwin Hills. Still was more money. Good neighborhood because it's black. We pay more.
County Chicago. How many BLM members came out? You earlier said BLM
Stop
is about
referring
police.
to me as you guys.
Okay, that's fine. So, for example, we had a really good example of this where it's not a police, because I remember you
Where
said...
are you from?
Where am I from? What do you mean by that? Like, what state am I from? Where was I born?
Where do you live right now?
I live in Florida. I was born in Angola, though. I was born in sub-Saharan Africa, okay?
Where did you grow up for most of your time?
In Maine. I lived in North America.
In Maine?
Yes.
And what is the population of black people in the town that you're from?
It's really extremely low, but I grew up around black people, and there was a black community where I lived.
And that black community that you lived in, did they teach you about black history in the United States? Like, are your parents black American?
Yeah, my mom is black. My father is black.
No, I'm asking, were they born in the United States?
No, because I wasn't born there.
Oh, so you guys are all from Angola?
Yes. But again, like I told you earlier, right? In terms of people like ATS that were shot, BLM doesn't come out for them. And I remember you earlier said,
hold on,
can I please finish? You earlier said that BLM is worried about police, but when Daniel Penny choked out the man that we all know was causing violence on that subway train.
He was not causing violence.
He was threatening people.
Causing disruption is not causing violence.
He was threatening people.
Causing disruption is not causing violence.
And the people there helped him also. And we know that he helped them.
I don't know what that has to do with BLM. Random people on a train is not black.
They love bringing up BLM. This dude talks about that white dude that put that black man in a chokehold. But when it comes to that brother, Carmelo Anthony, he couldn't defend himself. And this dude is from Angola, raised in Maine. Black Americans ain't even raised in Maine. From Angola, coming to America, thinking talk about what Black Americans are doing.
Black
BLM
Lives
showed
Matter.
up. BLM showed up for that. They did.
Showed up for what?
BLM showed up threatening white people, saying that they were going to
No,
go
they
get white
didn't.
people. Now they
BLM
did.
protested.
BLM New York.
BLM
Research
protested.
that.
Where did you get that from? You see,
BLM New York.
your sources are not. You're not able to
But I
cite
have all
your
the
sources.
In New
Please go
York.
sit down.
Yeah, that's the truth.
It's
You
not
can
the
try to
truth.
avoid it.
It's not the truth. It's not. Nothing you say is actually the truth. Nothing. You're not even American. You're not even a Black American. As the daughter of an immigrant, it is.
Listen to what she said. So Tether man right there says some bullshit. And Amanda Seales gives a great response as a non-Black American to other non-Black Americans. The same way the same channel went in on her for what she said about Myron Roll. The same way this channel went in on her for other things that she did that was like, fuck, that we deemed weird. We got to give her credit for this because this is an example of how non-Black Americans should talk to other non-Black Americans. And I appreciate that. Hell yeah, I've had a true American Black American experience. And that's why these motherfuckers ain't gonna have me on no shit. And Amanda Seales did a great job, but they really don't want me on there. You mean tell me a Black person from South Central LA that got his head on straight with a degree, but I know that degree don't mean shit. It don't mean, this degree don't make me an exceptional Negro. The fact that I own a dope ass company, Breakthrough Advocacy Services and Breakthrough Cards, that don't make me an exceptional Negro, a nigga that's grounded, and a nigga that got personal family stories of Black greatness and success dating back to the 1600s. These niggas ain't calling me. But if they're gonna call a non-Black American, this is a good, they called the right one because listen to her response right here.
That's the truth.
It's not the truth. It's not the truth. It's not the. Nothing you say is actually the truth. Nothing. You're not even American. You're not even a Black American. As the daughter of an immigrant, it is imperative that Black people from other places understand the disparate difference that they exist from Black people in the United States. It is not the same. Period. And ultimately, the best effort that we can do as a diaspora is to lead in understanding, not in judgment. So when I am talking to somebody from Sudan, from the Congo, from Angola, I am listening to understand their experience, not to undermine it. And I refuse to allow anybody from Grenada, from Angola, from any other place to come and try to undermine the experience of Black Americans.
Thank you, Amanda Seales, for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's how we need, if people who say, okay, I'm not a Tether, don't talk about me. Your job, if you're not a Tether, look, I don't just look at an immigrant as a Tether. But if you're so concerned with not being labeled with the Tethers, then do what she just did. Go after the Tethers, not us. Because one thing about us Black Americans, y'all done woke up a sleeping giant. When we talk, we clown. And I hear other Black people saying, oh no, you shouldn't crack jokes. No. Like y'all said in the chat room, Bismarck, I don't know who said it first, but yeah, nigga, I'm a goon. Yeah, you talk about me, I'm talking about you. Gloves off. Gloves off. Yes. You asked for it, motherfucker. So I'ma say it. I'm just of the doctrine, and this channel helped start this. I don't know any other channel that was speaking like this before mine. Because I was doing this even before my channel. I would say this even back when I was on Craig Facts. Black Americans need to start treating other races the way we treat ourselves. And treat ourselves the way we treat other races. That's how we're going to fix all this shit. Let's forgive one another. Let's be more understanding of one another. And let's treat other people who we feel offended by like dog shit the way we do each other. Let's clown them. People, it's coming, because you know I say that. It's very obvious to me that if you in your 50s still talking about you was called an African booty scratcher when you was 12, that shows me that you don't like it. Well, we don't like being called Akatas. We don't like being talked about like these, the two immigrants, the two people who labeled themselves immigrants, were, you saw how they had themselves sweeping generalizations of Black people. So I believe in matching energy. I believe in matching energy. We're not going to kill you. We're not going to shoot you. We're not going to beat you up. But we will give you a good tongue thrashing. And that's one thing that we do well. You see another black person come in talking some shit, what's the first thing, hey, black people in the chat room, what you gonna do? Somebody come in talking shit and something you don't like, and if it's another black person, even if you're in church, first thing you're gonna do is look them up and down and find the first flaw you see. Somebody come talking something, we just need to get together. You're gonna be like, you big bubble lip motherfucker, if you don't sit your ass down, you goddamn gap tooth son of a bitch. Nigga, if you don't sit down in them tight ass pants that you got, nigga, you about to catch a yeast infection in little ass pants. We gonna talk about whatever the fuck is on you, cause that's what we do with each other. Somebody said, can we get a Crayfax reunion? Hell no. So we gotta understand that this is who we are, and let's use that. You ain't gonna fight nobody. But disrespect is good. When somebody's disrespecting you, you don't have to be nice to people who disrespect you. If they disrespect you, it's okay to be disrespectful back. I have no issues with that. Here go another one. Hey, first off, your name is Ray Ray. Don't say no we all might as well. I'm tired of people who think simple trying to say we. I ain't French, and I'm not simple-minded, so don't group me in your we. If you can't take Amanda Seales saying doing something that was positive, and you think that you gotta buy her and everything about her, and Candace Owens too, then that's your stupid ass decisions. Don't say we. If your brain is so goddamn simple to where you gotta accept everybody because you like one thing about one person, that's a you thing, not a we thing. We understand that there are differences and intricacies and dynamics. And we understand that although coffee and water are both made primarily of water, coffee is different than water. We're not going to say, well, if I drink a cup of coffee, I don't see no reason why we should drink water. If we gonna drink coffee, what's the point of us drinking water? The water's in the coffee. Well, nigga, if you only want to drink coffee instead of water, fine. But don't say we. The rest of us understand that. No, I'm going to drink coffee and I'm going to drink water. I don't support simple-minded thought processes at this channel. I don't. There are other channels y'all could be. If you want some simple shit, go watch a Drake reaction channel. They'll give you all the simple ideologies in the world. We think a little bit deeper over here. God damn. Well, if it's a babble, then get your bitch ass out of here then. Hey, chat room. Mods, kick that motherfucker out of here. Then, if it's babble, we'll make it easy for you. Now back to what else we talking about in here. Because we are here to talk amongst people who know how to goddamn think. And if you are too stupid to understand that, then you too stupid to be in this room. It's the reason why they had AP classes, honors classes, regular classes, and short bus IEP classes. You belong in the IEP class. Just because we all go to the same school don't mean we all in the same class. You dig? But she did a great job checking the tethers right there. Oh, I got a super chat. What's up, Carl Langley? Yeah, roasting is a leading cause of tetherism. Well, you might have a point there, Carl. You might have a point. You might have a point. Man, I swear to God, like I believe in delineation, and not just amongst ethnic lines. I also believe in delineation between me from stupid people. I swear to God, the people who think Cardi B writes dope music and Drake is not a problem, and then we should all come together, and they believe 1990s MTV that we're all just one, and these people who believe. If they hear a news headline and you believe it, you believe Michael Jackson did what he did because a white man said it and the court said he didn't. Y'all people, I believe in delineating from y'all. Y'all can have y'all stupid ass conversations over there. I'm not gonna participate. Appreciate that Victory Status. It's a great show. Never forget Amanda Seals, False Accused. Hey, Victory Status. I appreciate the super chat, but that's literally how we started the show. Okay, my brother? Thanks for the super chat, but go back to the beginning. Go back to the beginning. This whole show was started on things that we did not like that Amanda Seals did. You dig? But I believe in delineation. Get these stupid motherfuckers away from me. All stupid people do is overtalk you. They bring up a whole bunch of nonsensical arguments. They use stats, even though these dumb motherfuckers don't know them. You got people that don't know the difference between mean, mode, median, and range telling you about stats. And if you're looking to trust her motives, you missed the point, my brother. If trusting her motive is even in the thought process, you missing the whole point, my brother. No disrespect. All we do, this is a case study. You watch. The point is to have your own motive. You don't follow anybody else's motive. You create your own. You know what my motive is? My motive is watching this discussion between two people, well, between 1 versus 20, and breaking down the information discussed in the subjects that they brought up. That's the motive. The motive ain't to sell you on being a follower and donating to my church. The motive ain't to sell you on believing in me as your leader, or believing in Amanda Seals as your leader. Who gives a fuck about any of that stuff? Take the information and you have your own motive on how to decipher it. That's the only thing we're talking about. And the whole point of this, when I talked about Amanda Seals, I use that as an example of people come to me all the time. So what are we supposed to do? Well, Black Americans are calling us tethers. Black Americans are calling us this. Well, I'm not a tether. I'm not a tether. I like, that's fine. You don't need to tell the same. It's the same people who say, when white people come to me and say, I'm not racist. What do you want me to do? Okay, great. I want your non-racist ass to go to your racist family members and check them. That's what I want you to do. When you're at the Thanksgiving table and they start talking about black people, step up and say something. When they start talking about crime stats and single family stats, talk about all the single white families. Talk about the crime within the white community. That's what you do. You go back to your community and talk. You don't come to us. And Amanda just did what I've been saying for a long time. You're an immigrant and you don't want to be associated with tethers, then go check your people. Well, I promise you we won't call you that. If you leave us alone and go check your people, then you tether free. And sucker free. And if you one of the niggas that's waiting to trust somebody, then you're lost. I don't know any other way to put that. You in your 40s and you still trying to trust somebody? Nigga, if you don't trust yourself and move the fuck on, put it like this. If you don't trust yourself, you already lost. And if you trust yourself, you should trust your own spirit of discernment to when somebody's on some real shit and on some bullshit.
Where's the argument? Because ultimately, when there was an opportunity in Reconstruction for there to be equality and humans considered in a real way and protected,
Democrats torched it. Andrew Johnson.
Yes, as well as the Supreme Court. That's actually more important. What we have to acknowledge. The Supreme Court torched it. The Supreme Court has actively, throughout this entire existence of this nation, been at the forefront of impeding. And
that right there. That's another fact that you don't have to trust Amanda Seals to know. Basically, and this is my last clip I'm gonna play. I didn't want to play the whole clip, but in this part, this was getting black people to leave the Democratic Party. And he's talking about why you should join the Republican Party. And so what he's trying to do is pin black people. The reason why we keep getting pushed back further behind in the system is because of Democrats. Amanda Seals, rightfully, whether you trust her or not, tells the truth about the Supreme Court being the ones that roll back black protections for black people. It's not a party thing. It's a government systems thing. Because most black people, when you talk civil rights, they think that shit's only the 1960s. No, nigga. The original civil rights legislation was the 1860s. All them rights, the right to vote, the right to all these different rights, to get jobs, to be treated as equal citizens, all that shit got addressed with the civil rights legislation between 1866 and 1874. What happened? Each time in the 1800s, it was a Supreme Court law that weakened those laws for black people. And the Supreme Court also made it to where they used laws created for black people and applied it to corporations. Supreme Court, what it does is it takes laws that were meant for black people, it waters them down, saying although this country targets you based on race, you cannot have solutions based on race. And they redistribute the gains to other groups of people and to corporations. The reason why corporations can pay money to all these local politicians to influence law is because corporations are seen as humans. Something that the Supreme Court voted for back in 1977 based off the 13th Amendment. 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment is going to benefit corporations. And the reason why there's so much corporate favoritism, and the reason why we seem as us regular citizens, black, white, whatever race, we're all victims of these laws that corporations put in place. But the reason why corporations can put these laws in place is because they use civil rights legislation of the 1800s and the 1600s for themselves. It's always a Supreme Court that waters these things down. But if you're some fucking idiot going around, well, I can't trust Amanda Seals, you just missed the fact, nigga. This whole discussion is, if you check, all you gotta do is Google this very channel. As a matter of fact, let me do it in front of you. Let's see, Dewan B. Amanda Seals. Let's do this right in front of you. On this very channel. Well, how do I search my own channel? Thought I was searching my own channel. Maybe because she's trending right now, so all the other stuff is coming up. But search this very channel for Amanda Seales, and you'll find no shortage of programming that I have here talking about different things that she said in the past. How do I search my channel? Let me go to my channel. Okay. I thought I was there. And for some reason it's not coming up. But you can go through my goddamn channel and you can find plenty of topics on Amanda Seales here. Here we go. Oh yeah, I talked about her real good on this one. I'm talking about D.L. Hewley. Okay, yeah, she was talking about, oh yeah, I even did a reading of her back in the day to find out why she's so goddamn crazy a year ago. Here, I did one on here when she was going in on the cast of Insecure. And I ain't talk crazy, but I said a lot of shit about Amanda Seales on this here. I know who the fuck she is. But just because she's done certain things in the past don't mean I can't use this to break down what's going on now. You niggas ain't teaching me shit about Amanda Seales. The fact of the matter is, it's the Supreme Court every time. The Democrats play black people, Republicans play black people. Republicans are the reason why we got so much. The initial civil, look, black people. This is a fact. Our civil rights of the 1800s came from the Republicans. It was Republican Ulysses Grant as president. It was all the black Republican members of Congress. It was Republicans that got us reconstructions. It was the Supreme Court that stripped it. In the 1960s, the Democrats, Kennedy, Lyndon Baines Johnson, gave us a little bit of something. A little bit. And it was the Supreme Court that stripped it away. Black people, we've been hustled twice from each party, by each party, 100 years apart, on this terminology called civil rights. And that's why someone like me is more equipped to have this kind of conversation, as dope as Amanda Seales is. She just doesn't have the depth of knowledge in this country, partially because part of her lineage comes from somewhere else. And I get it. I'm not criticizing her. She knows what most people who study Black American history through white universities know. She knows the white interpretation of Black history. Well, I know the Black interpretation of Black history. And I understand that there were free Black people, Mound Bayou, in Arkansas, Mississippi, during the 1870s, 60s, 90s. I know that. But I also know that when we forensically study this country, the Republicans gave us a shot, the Democrats gave us a shot, 100 years apart. There's one organization of the three branches of government that's been consistent, and that's the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has been consistent. People flip sides, Republican and Democrat, all the time. They change this country, these white folks in this country, they change especially the wealthy. They change parties like we change draws. It's not about focusing in on a party. When Malcolm X, Ida B. Wells, A. Philip Randolph, Stokely Carmichael, Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, they didn't go to a party. They went to the government. And it's very, very, very important on this channel that you understand that it's not about Democrat or Republican. White supremacy is a governmental thing. And you're not going to get respite from either party. And what I see now, because the Democrats have used and abused black people since the 60s, there are a lot of black people who are now saying, hey, well, what about the Republicans? No, stupid, you've been there before. Pay attention, nigga. He said, I got black conservative fatigue. Right. This motherfucker looking like Sass Reeves. Not even Bass Reeves because he weak. We don't call this nigga Sass Reeves. Nigga look like a sissy cowboy. This nigga rides how his horse like, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Nigga, his horse don't run, it trots. And it don't trot like this. No, he be like, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Sass Reeves ass out of here, nigga. Somebody, whoever said this cherry red zone, you obviously don't know how to find the cherry because you have no clue about demographics. Don't nobody from LA dress like this. The fuck is you talking about? Do you know how he would get clowned coming in to LA dressed like this? With that mustache? Now he probably moved to LA. We get all kind of weirdos from the South and the Midwest and the East Coast that move here. One thing about LA is we take all you niggas weirdos. But let him be in LA he got less than 6 months in LA to keep that mustache if he moved here. Less than 6 months. Especially if you want a black woman. Ain't no black woman gonna date no nigga with no mustache like this. Nigga looking like Quiet Earp. Not Wyatt Earp. Gonna shoot and kill somebody, nigga. This is Quiet Earp. Ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing. You can steal his horse, put your spur in his thigh, and Quiet Earp ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing. Yeah, LA does have all kind of random weirdos, and none of them are from here. X-rated. Matter of fact, they look like you with that weird ass haircut. You can't talk about X-rated. Let's just be true. Let's just do right here in the comments. You cannot talk about weirdos with this haircut. Nigga, no, you got your hair lined up with a belt. That's a bowl cut flat top you got there, sonny. Bowl cut stopped in 1990. Like someone put a belt strap around your head and lined your shit up. You can't talk about weirdos. You got an eye ring and a bowl cut. All right? So you're right, LA does have any weirdos, but I refuse to let some nigga with an eye ring and a bowl cut tell me about LA's weirdos. LA gets weirdos from around the country. We get all the rejects and the people who want to be stars from the South and the Midwest and the East Coast. All the weirdos and freaks that want to make it. Look at it. We got LA got to deal with people like Jamie Foxx and Puffy. Jamie Foxx is a goddamn white woman loving freak. He's from Texas. Diddy is a people of color, non-white, non-black, people of color looking freak. He's from New York. But all that shit get dumped on LA because we get all y'all freaks. Stop it. Who's more annoying, Amanda or Larry? I would say Amanda's more annoying because I would never do nothing to that sister. Larry, I could just knock that nigga out and that nigga stop being annoying. All I gotta do is beat Larry bitch ass up and it's over with. So, you know, I can handle that. I appreciate the super chat. No, I hate that shit, man. We live here. We get all the fucking freaks. And people like, no, man, LA weird. Ain't none of the niggas from here. None of them. Yeah, naked basketball. I heard about them naked basketball games at Jamie Foxx's house. And I can guarantee you, ain't none of them niggas playing naked dick ball from LA. None of them. We deal with y'all freaks and rejects. You ain't never heard about that? Yeah, Jamie Foxx is known for having naked basketball games at his house. That dude Tyrant Turner talked about it on the Art of Dialogue video. Well, we wasn't really playing naked ball. It was just kind of horse. You know, you play horse, but instead of losing, you take your clothes off. Go look up Art of Dialogue with Tyrant Turner. He talked about that. Well, nigga, that's naked basketball. I've been playing horse my whole goddamn life, and I ain't never thought about taking off no pieces of clothes with no other niggas around playing horse. And if I got women around, I'm not playing basketball. Got women around, you playing basketball, getting musty. If I got women around, I'm single, I'm playing other games. He said Buddy got a Captain Planet lineup. Right, he did have a Captain Planet. Talking about LA freaks. Nigga had a Captain Planet lineup in the eye ring. Had the nerve to talk about LA having freaks. Get the fuck out of here. Will Smith, he's from Philadelphia. Another freak. That's a Philly freak. You ain't heard about no Ice Cube having none of these freak offs, none of this shit. Like Ice Cube said, I never been to a Diddy party. Right. He said, I played horse and I never engaged in the horse shit like that. Right. Hell nah. But back to Amanda Seales. This was a great 20v1 that she did. I encourage everybody to go and watch the full video if you want to get pissed off. It's on Jubilee. Jubilee, you want to have this kind of discussion with somebody that's from the soil, who know U.S. and their own family history, we could take this shit to a whole nother level. Okay, for sure. Oh, and also, that's my mod right there. Type in your husband's name again. I get him mixed up with one other person. I'll be so damn dyslexic. It was her husband when I did that show a couple weeks ago on the hip hop. That picture of Bambaataa on the Source magazine. That was her husband that took that picture with Bambaataa and all them talking about the originators of hip hop. Type in your husband's name one more time. I don't want to say the wrong name because I'll be dyslexic as fuck. Especially when people got the first, if you and somebody else, y'all first initial is the same, Dewan's probably gonna fuck it up. So I don't take that personal. Yeah, Chimodu. That's his name. Again, like I was talking about earlier with Amanda Seales. Everybody that's from a different country is not a tether. Everybody from somewhere else is not a tether. And her husband, Chimodu, he took this picture from Caribbean descent, but he was not a tether. He gave love and respect to the Black culture and gave us some wonderful and beautiful pictures. Every immigrant is not a tether. 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 Let me say that again. Every immigrant is not a tether. Just like every black person is not a coon. But just because somebody is black American don't make them righteous. It's a bunch of coon ass niggas in this thing that Amanda Seales did. She had Tether coons, Negro coons, women coons, men coons. Just cooning. I mean, this was a Tether and coon American homegrown coon unite meeting right here. All skin folks ain't kin folks. And Amanda Seales did a great job addressing these people today. Yes, a tether is very derogative. The word tether is derogative, yeah. And I'm not one of the people saying we shouldn't use derogatory terms. Yes, the fuck we should. That's why they exist. I speak English, and no one's going to tell me to limit the gamut of English I can use to describe things. I call tethers tethers. I call midgets midgets. I call stupid people stupid. Okay? Let's stop all that shit. Call ugly people ugly. I'm a fat nigga. What you gonna do? You gonna call me weight challenged? No, nigga, I'm fat. I personally don't see nothing wrong with fat. I like myself. I like myself more than most people like them who are in way better shape than me. I've seen people with six packs kill themselves. All right? So I don't see, call me fat all goddamn day. It's not a negative to me. It's just, I am. If you have extra meat hanging off your bones, you're fat. Okay? It's a lot of people out there are fucking retards. It's retarded to think that you gotta follow somebody to like what to agree to listen to what they say. That's retarded. And the reason why I can say it's retarded, because you still learn math, you still learn science, you still learn history if you pay attention to class by a whole bunch of people you probably shouldn't have trusted. You still learn the information anyway. You gotta be a fucking retard. There's retarded people out there. We gotta tell the truth. All that using extra words, no, let's get to no, that person's a fucking retard. If I use the word retard, you know exactly what I mean. No, that person's a fucking midget. I'm not gonna say little person. Kevin Hart is a little person. Cat Williams is a little person. Any grown man that's under 5'4" is a little person. If you a grown ass man, you 5'5", you a little person. You a person, but you little. You ain't a midget, because you ain't got a big ass midget head. And small midget hands. Midgets got big heads and small hands. It's a descriptive term of people that exist. I don't believe in none of that shit. If you came to America illegally, you are an illegal alien. Alien means foreign to the land, because you did not follow the laws to come to the land. So you are an illegal alien. Now, you can go and get your green card and no longer be an illegal alien. But as long as you came here undocumented, you're not an undocumented citizen. No, you are an illegal alien. Don't let these people see what's happening right now in America. We're being tested by the powers that be. They're trying to make you say up is down and down is up. We don't know what a man is. We don't know. You listen to people like Mark Lamont Hill. There were men that can have babies. No, that's a woman that in her mind said that she's a man and she took some hormones to grow a beard, but it's still a woman. They're trying to get you to not know. Over here on the channel, we stand on it. And we also are mature enough at this channel to not have to agree with somebody, to listen to their point of view. Don't have to agree. As a matter of fact, that's how I become a smarter person. I become a smarter person by listening sometimes to people that I traditionally don't agree with. They have their point of view and stance for a reason. Now, if I listen to somebody and their point of view and stance is based in emotion, then yeah, fuck out of here. But if I don't like you, but your point of view is based in research, it's based on lived experience, it's based on something substantive, then yeah, I'm going to have to listen to that because you gave me something based on substance. Got to be smarter than that. You know, you can't be somebody asking people not talking about freaks. And like they said, like Super Chat said earlier, you can't have a Captain America flat top, bowl cut. This nigga look like a gay Kevin Johnson, don't he? And no disrespect to the gay people. But I feel like going and watching ESPN Classics, a replay of the 1993 NBA Finals now. Because gay Kevin Johnson is talking about, hey look, y'all know Kevin Johnson? And don't like, they used to call KJ, Kevin Johnson KJ. Nigga, this is Zesty J. Don't the nigga look like Zesty Johnson? Man, hey, you from Phoenix? KJ, former mayor of Sacramento. Brother, you got a long lost child. This nigga chose a different life. This nigga chose an alternative lifestyle because his daddy wasn't around. This nigga said, I look like Kevin Johnson, but give me the Captain Planet cut with the bowl cut. Let me put a bowl, let me put a belt strap around my head and my hair. My nigga Gay J. That's what, instead of KJ, nigga, we don't call you Gay J. That's too close to Ray J. Hey, we don't call that nigga Gay J. That's my nigga Gay J in the chat. No, salute to you, Gay J, for standing up in the chat. That nigga Gay J. They take pictures with the duck lips. Oh shit, I got some cash apps to get to. James, I appreciate the cash app. Much love, much appreciated, James. Who else gave me a cash app? Rebecca, salute to you. Salute to you, Rebecca, for the cash app. Williams, I appreciate the cash app. But yeah, so Amanda did a good thing. This was very entertaining. This was very informative. This was very fun. Great exchange, and this goes to show you, look, black folks, you ain't gotta like everybody. As a matter of fact, I'll go so far as to say it. Fuck your feelings. Your feelings are your feelings. Nobody else's. Nobody really cares, okay? All right? But she did her thing. These people all look stupid. And I would love to do a 20 versus 1. I'll do a 40 versus 1. And I want y'all to bring in people with PhDs. I want y'all to bring in people that work for labor unions and they're contractors. I want you to bring in people that's fresh out of jail. Because a lot of times our biggest coons be you goddamn street niggas. You former drug dealing, former gang members, them niggas be bigger coons than the corporate niggas. And what tripped me out about former gang members being coons is you the niggas that make us all look bad. You ever hear these niggas that was like in their 16s and in their 20s, they was the ones robbing people. They was the ones beating up people and shooting people. And then they get to their 30s and 40s. No. We the problem. We the problem. Because when I was in jail, we used to do it. The jailhouse said this way. I'm not saying all, but you niggas are the worst. At least the coon doctors can be like, well, I'm a doctor, and we can be like, that nigga a coon, but yeah, he made it. The case that the white supremacists and coons use against black society is the street niggas. The ones robbing and stealing and shooting. You guys are the shining example as to what's wrong with black America. So when you niggas clean yourselves up, y'all need to humbly come back and help clean up the community that you helped destroy. Not sit with white folks and be like, well, now, that's the problem with black folks. We the only ones killing each other. No, nigga, that was you and your sorry ass friends. We didn't like y'all either. I mean, I might have to do a whole different topic on that. On street coons. Niggas that was raised on Section 8. Niggas that get a job from here to here. You done had 3 babies by the time you was 23. Didn't take care of them. Now you 35. Now you 40. You done figured shit out at 40. Now you the main one. We our own worst kind. Ain't nothing worse than a 45, 50-year-old former street nigga coon. Ain't nothing worse than these niggas. Y'all are the ones that created the problems that the rest of us non-street niggas is trying to run from. Trying to get over, trying to get past. Niggas don't want to live in a white neighborhood. We just want to live in a black neighborhood that's not full of criminals. Thank God for the Dare Heights. Thank God my parents, man, when they moved up out the hood, my parents didn't have to move to no white people. We just moved to a black neighborhood that didn't have you street niggas. Yeah, Bootsy, people like that. Do everything they can to contribute to the negative stereotypes, then say, we just need to come together. Fuck off. Oh yeah, $1 million worth of gain. Yeah, them niggas. Gilly and Wallow. Former street niggas that have spent time in jail that are now, pull yourself up by the, man, please. Nigga, I call that show $1 million worth of shame. You got a nigga in the big ass hat ain't talking about a motherfucker. I can't watch that show $1 million worth of shame. I can't. A whole bunch of people that was degenerates when they was teenagers in their 20s now got a little bit of access to something. They good Negroes. Fuck out of here. You niggas that was coon, you niggas, I'm telling you, I'm dead serious. Niggas that was street in their teens and 20s, y'all owe a debt to black America the same way the white man do. Like what Ice Cube said, to all you dope dealers, you was bad as the police because you kill us. Ain't built a supermarket so we can spend our money with the blacks. Too busy buying gold and Cadillacs. You niggas owe reparations to the black community. Hell, as a matter of fact, it's somebody I know. I know a dude that's a former pimp. And this former pimp does so much for black folks. And he's up in, he's over there out of Dallas. I know this former pimp dude in Dallas. This dude got a radio, like podcasting studio to where he helped kids learn podcasting. The money that he learned on the streets, he's now paying it forward for black children. He's not saying we need to put ourselves by the bootstraps. The money he saved from that world, he's using it to apply. Street people can most definitely be redeemed. I've seen it happen time and time again. Happens all the time. I love seeing it. Just don't be that street nigga talking about what's wrong with us. No, nigga, you need to be humble and create programs and systems to help so it's not another version of you coming out. You do that, we all good. But you get on talking that bootsy shit, we off you. Hey, I looked in the chat. This nigga Gay J still going off. Hey, salute to the Maz. Don't salute to the Maz for allowing Gay J to go off and not kicking him out. The longer Gay J stay in here, the longer he's annoyed. Maybe he'll get so annoyed he'll cut that stupid ass haircut of his. That nigga cut a flat top with scissors. How in the hell did you cut your flat top with scissors, nigga? That nigga flat top got cut with some Brutus the Barber beefcake shears. That's why it's not lined up right. They got that motherfucker did one of the Brutus the Barber beefcake. Shh. Shh. He had a lopsided fro. And somebody came with the Brutus the Barber beefcake shears. It was like, shh. 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 Now that nigga got a flat top. But we about to get the fuck up out of here, y'all. That nigga Carl Langley said, nigga got the 10-10 haircut, but want to get mad at me. Nigga, your barber owe you a fair one, right? Yeah, you and your barber do need a fade. Like, and I ain't talking about another haircut. You need to catch that fade with your barber, homeboy, and for real. You need to catch that fade with your barber. He said that nigga cousin in the village, cut his head with his teeth. Oh man, but I'm about to get up out of here. Thank y'all again for listening. And again, salute to Amanda Seales and what she did on this particular show. Y'all have a good one. We out.